Yo, this is WSoul13 bringing you Raid Shadow Legends. Today, we were just here yesterday, and yesterday, Geomancer was complete poop. And today, he's back, kind of. Alright, so I'm just wasting some energy right now. There's really no tournaments up for Fusion right now. We're looking at, I think Dragons just finished, Fire Knight starts tomorrow, Dungeon Divers is up, so, and I think I got my energy from the Bazaar, so it was just about that time that the Bazaar had the limit come up, so why not burn the energy? We'll finish that later. Oh, and I think we've just hit reset. Lucky. Dungeon Divers coming up, already happening, and I think we have Artifact Enhancement tomorrow. Dungeon Divers right now, how much are they asking for? 3,000 points. Again, pretty steep, so I'm trying to get a head start because I think Dungeon Divers is where I'm gonna fall behind a little bit. So, you're here for Geomancer, right? And that's what we're going to talk about. So, Geomancer can get me a 3 key on Ultra Nightmare, right? So, I spent 3 keys on Ultra Nightmare today. I came up with 104.88 million damage divided by 3. It's very close to a 2 key damage. So, this second time I ran the same team, I took Geomancer out and I replaced him with Skull Crusher. So I think this morning, I'm not sure if the hotfix was already in, but I ran the same team and it was the lowest damage I've ever dealt with that team against Force Affinity in Ultra Nightmare. So I did I think 30 million. My first run was 30 million, and I usually deal anywhere from 32 to 40 million on that comp against Ultra Nightmare. Clan Boss Force Affinity, so a 2 key reliably. Usually, most of the time, it's a 2 key. And I said to myself, okay, this is what I was talking about yesterday, that I was gonna have to live without the Brognymancer comp that I made, and I'm gonna have to find alternatives. So I swapped out Geomancer for Skull Crusher, and I did get my 35 million off the second run. So that's it. My 2 key is practically still preserved, the same comp. Really, I'm just swapping out Geomancer for Skull Crusher. It's the exact same speeds, So I guess they fixed Geomancer again. So apparently, and this is their story, not mine, obviously. Their story is that it wasn't a nerf. Right. Anybody buy that? Nobody buys that, right? Complete, utter horse crap. Nobody buys that. They're saying it's not a nerf. It's because of system issues, that the interaction with Geomancer passive and Giant Slayer procs was crashing the game. Great. Never experienced it, but whatever. They're saying it might be a server side thing. We don't know. So, what did they do? Well, they took the interaction with the Masteries away to save their servers or whatever, and they replaced it with a War Master effect, right? Oh my god. This tells me that these people do not really scour the actual kind of like theory crafting base of the game. All they look at is their analytics. So their analytics said most people use War Master on Geomancer, so let's copy War Master. No. The best version of Geomancer uses Giant Slayer. We know that. Everybody knows that. Everybody that pays attention to Raid knows that. They missed it. So they're like, okay, screw it. We'll just put it back to the way it was originally for the people that were using Geomancer for this purpose. And now they swapped out that ability for Giant Slayer Light. So the problem with this version of Giant Slayer is it's built into the passive and it's considered a reflect and not a hit. So I guess the hit part, like I said yesterday, and they confirmed this, was always never meant to be considered a hit. So the proc of the reflect, those deflect hits or whatever they're called, they were never meant to be considered a hit. And it was like a bug in the game, and the game considered it a hit. That's why I did all these things. Proc Giant Slayer, proc Lifesteal set, all that stuff, right? Poison set, whatever you put on him, it proc the thing. Which it wasn't supposed to do, you know? So what does it do now? So the top part's the same, decrease damage, all eyes receive, 15% deflect onto each enemy under an HP burn that was placed by Geomancer. We already know that part of the ability. That hasn't changed ever. This is the part that kept changing on us. Whenever this champion is attacked, now it deflects 30% of the damage, and then the damage that is deflected, it happens on each enemy hit, so they put it back to each enemy hit. I think yesterday it was on each attack, so they took the double hit away, proccing this in Clan Boss, Affinity Clan Boss. So I put it back, it's back to every hit, but it's a 30% chance it deals 3% target's max HP. It's Giant Slayer, right? So let's go to Masteries real quick, show it Giant Slayer. Oh, and I just made my face bigger. Sorry. Here we go. Giant Slayer, 30% chance of 7.5% of champion's max HP, 3% of max HP with attacking bosses. Of course, they fixed that number against Clan Boss, right? You're not going to get an actual 3% hit against Clan Boss. That happens with everything. So what do you do? What do? You do this. You do what I do, which is you change the masteries, alright, from Giant Slayer back to War Master, okay? So War Master, we already know what War Master does, right? Why? So, a couple of reasons why you want to switch him back to War Master ASAP if you were using him for the Brogdemancer comp. It doesn't by any means answer every issue. Of course, a lot of people are still considering this a hard nerf. You know, I think that's debatable now. Yesterday, it was absolutely undisputed that it was a hard nerf. Today, I think that's debatable because he absolutely got buffed in other parts of the game, you know, other than Clan Boss. But mostly people use him for Clan Boss. Everybody knows that. So yeah, let's check it out. Why do we want to use War Master now instead of Giant Slayer? It used to be that Giant Slayer proc from the passive, Stone Guard passive, gave you Lifesteal. So yeah, so if I have Lifesteal on, you know, this would proc Lifesteal, you know, that proc Lifesteal. Now it doesn't. Now it doesn't proc Lifesteal at all, or Toxic Sect, or whatever. It won't do it because it won't proc the masteries. Now we have to put a War Master in him, so when he takes a regular turn, he has that, whatever, 60-70% chance of proccing War Master. Get a War Master hit, everybody knows how War Master and Lifesteal works. You hit the War Master proc on the Clan Boss, you're back up to full health-ish. So, is it good? Is it bad? Honestly, it feels like he's back to normal to me in my comp. Obviously, not going to last as long in comps that rely on him to last longer. So this could mean two things. Those comps that rely on him to last longer, I'm not sure if they're going to be viable anymore, especially if they've maxed out on every damage mitigating thing that you can do on Geomancer, you know. So one of the things that people got away with Geomancer specifically is having what is this called? Damn, I keep forgetting what this master is called. Life Drinker. Is having Life Drinker on and Leech debuff on the Clan Boss, right? And they would use something like Stalwart set, and they would just make Geomancer last way longer than like a standard Clan Boss comp, or you're just using plain Lifesteal set. I don't know if those are viable anymore because you're not proccing Lifesteal now every attack, right? So maybe if you fit a counter attack in there, maybe, but the thing is, you know, you're not getting that 30% damage mitigation from Stalwart gear anymore. There's a lot of things that kind of fell apart when they did this. So that absolutely undisputedly is hard nerf. So if you're hoping Geomancer lasts a certain amount of time for you to deal your damage, you're done, right? But if you're building him kind of like me, like in a standard clan boss type build, you know, he's actually not that bad. So I'm going to show you my stats right now. It hasn't really changed that much. So crit rate 51%, crit damage 98%, 2600 attack, 48,000 HP, 3000 depth, 300 accuracy. So the accuracy can go down a little bit because I'm only using it for clan boss. So I could take 50 points of accuracy away there and put it somewhere. Most likely, it looks like maybe this perception gear. You know, I could change this up. I can change my perception gear up. But I kept it there because, you know, it gave me accuracy, gave me some speed as well, and I was able to wear HP percent and depth percent boots and chests. So this one could be crit damage. We'll see. All right, so we're gonna try to get this to become crit damage or crit rate gloves. And then this top row, I'm not gonna be focused too much on accuracy. Like this has a double roll on accuracy, this has a double roll on accuracy. So I'm going to be moving that more towards crit rate and crit damage. And that's it. You combine that with War Master, you're going to deal a little bit more damage in place of lasting as long. I mean, that's about as compromised thing as you can go. You know, that's the best compromise. I think I have him on HP amulet right here, so that will most likely have to become a crit damage amulet now. And I just want to race. I just want to deal as much damage as I can while he's still alive. Keep him alive as long as I can, obviously, as well. So most likely these the chest and the boots are staying the same. So HP chest or whatever, depth chest, HP boots. Yeah, I'm gonna keep those the same. And I'm just gonna tweak the top row, get some more crit damage, crit rate out of this build. A little bit more attack, probably. I don't know. We'll see. And then lastly, if I can afford to, I'll switch out this amulet for a crit damage amulet. We'll see what we come up with, right? But the point is, Geomancer is back, ish. For a lot of people, it might not be exactly the same, but if you switch him over to War Master and you tweak your gear a little bit, I think he's gonna perform relatively the same for a bunch of people. Not everybody. Obviously, not everybody, right? But for a bunch of people, relatively the same. I think unkillable, most likely the same. Yeah, still deals a lot of damage, still does all the good stuff you want him to do. But now, all right, let's do a quick dragon run. Ooh, you know what? I've been meaning to do this. Let's get rid of you, and let's put in what's his face? Let's put in Geomancer, right? So let's do a quick dragon run just to see what he does. We gotta turn auto off though. Let's see if I get it on time. Turn auto off. There we go. Okay. So, alright. What are we doing here? Renegade is just gonna A1. It's a seer comp, so yeah, we're gonna do that. Alright, so I just want to get to the boss. Everything's programmed in with my AI, so I don't really want to do any of that. Yeah, I honestly don't care. I can do that. Decrease accuracy, that's fine. Then we're gonna do Karma Burn. Boom. Next wave. Alright, so we're gonna reset right here. So I just want to get to the boss, you know. That's it. That's all I want to do. When I get to the boss, Siren's Wail, right? Yeah, A2. Right here. I just want to show you real quick that Geomancer is actually really good in dungeons now. Like way better than he used to be. I mean, he's always been good in dungeons, but now he's just. Oh, okay. So if you're wondering how that happened, I just have her on the offensive mastery that gets you the cooldown reset. You know, so normally I think this only happens like less than half the time. I just have some masteries, and I think I have one ring on her, one refresh accessory on her. That's it. That's how I got this to go smoothly. So yeah, if I get lucky there, it's like, I don't know, 15 seconds or whatever to get to the boss. Once we are at the boss, alright, let's auto now. I think we can auto this now. Alright, let's see what happens. Let's see if we can actually beat the boss first. Because I didn't bring any poison. Here we go. HP burn is on. Alright, watch this, watch this, watch this. Watch out. Alright, let's slow that down. Let's slow this down. Alright. Watch for when the boss attacks, right? Look at the HP. Look at the HP when the boss attacks, okay? So he's got the HP burn on, right? And every time he's gonna attack, every time he attacks us, he'll get a chance to proc. Here's the proc, boom. There's the damage. That's it. Right? Not bad. That's a good chunk. So imagine this was a stage 25 boss. It's gonna be the same chunk. Because it's gonna be the same chunk because he is at whatever enemy max HP based, right? The passive does enemy max HP damage. So yeah, Geomancer is good in dungeons now. Who'd have thought? Who'd have thought he'd be good in dungeons? You know, I mean, everybody knew he had a thing for, I guess, spiders or Fire Knight or some Doom Tower bosses because he has fully deplete turn meter on his A2, which is a very rare ability. I think there's only a few champs in the game that actually does fully deplete turn meter. Cold Heart does, I think 100% turn meter down. He does fully deplete, so that's big. That's a big difference right there. Oh, are we gonna die? We need to hit some War Master procs to stay alive. Up, come on, War Master, stay alive. Yikes, we didn't make it. Anyways, the same thing. You get what I'm trying to say. This is not optimized to keep him alive, obviously, but yeah, he's a progression champ now. That's what I'm talking about, you know? Yeah, I have this thing preset. You guys want to see? You guys want to see that run? The run with my regular team? It's actually not bad. Not a bad run. And you know, and my seer is slow. I'll show you my seer later. She's a slow seer. I haven't developed her for the other dungeons yet. This is just my regular old dragon farming team. It's 100%, I think. I haven't seen it fail yet, but we'll see. Maybe this might be the one time I see it fail. But I've yet to see this team fail. This team does very well. So yeah, the only thing here is that there we go. Seer might not get the procs for the cooldown reset, and I waste some of the buffs or whatever, but Apothecary puts his buffs on, so that kind of gives him more buffs to steal. And then I just wait for it to go back to her. Karma burn, boom, everybody dead. Yeah, I have to figure out a way to get that to work in stage 24 dungeons, which is where I really want it to work. Right now I've gotten it to work to where if I do proc the cooldown reset, it blows through stage 24. Right. Anyways, yeah, Geomancer is a progression champ now. Holy crap. I mean, is that really a bonus? Like, did people get Geomancer to be a progression champ? I don't think so. No. It's great for people that pull him later on, but for people that I think went for the 40 Ancient Shard Geomancer guaranteed event, I don't think they pulled him to be a progression champ. So, you know, that's the argument for the quote-unquote buff, right? So that's the buff to Geomancer, is he's way better now in dungeons and progression, while retaining most, I'd say 80% of why he's amazing in Clan Boss. I think it's in the 80% range. There are definitely some comps that are like totally freaking screwed, and that's just them's the breaks, man. I don't know. They're gonna fix it again to try to give it some sort of healing or something. I don't know. So I don't know why I need to say this out loud. Like, Plarium can't think this far ahead, or nobody advises them on this stuff. But if Plarium does something like add a native heal to that passive for Geomancer, that is gonna be a gigantic buff on him. Like, I'm not even kidding. That buff is gonna be so crazy on him. Why? Because that used to be a mastery dedicated to that, which was Giant Slayer. Now you free that up, and now you have War Master on top of a Giant Slayer effect, on top of proccing lifesteal as well. You know, it's pretty ridiculous. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's pretty ridiculous if they put the heal back on right now passively, like native to the passive. You know, maybe they could if people make a big stink out of it. I don't know. We'll see. But to me, I think he is doable, viable. I'm gonna keep using him, and I think I'm gonna get the same results. My teams are not really like at the 1 key range or the consistent 2 key range. They're more like 2 or 3 key teams, you know. So on most days, I'll get a 3 key on most days because I'm fighting Magic or Spirit in those comps. I think Magic, I have a 2 key team for Magic, but it's not Geomancer team. It's my budget unkillable. And then for Force, I have a good chance of 2 keying again with this new version of Geomancer. It's the exact same one I use. I didn't really change any of the gear yet. And then for Spirit, I haven't tested it out, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna be roughly the same damage on Spirit. So, which was a 3 key on me for Spirit. Pretty handy, easy 3 key. And that's it, guys. I hope I hope you haven't broken up your Geomancer yet in terms of like taking off his gear or whatever. And you know, I'm sure most of you didn't. I mean, really, you spend all that silver just to take all that gear off, right? But yeah, I think the one last thing that I'll leave with you before I sign off is this idea of Plarium nerfing the epics now, because it feels like they're nerfing the epics, right? They just nerf Eurogrim. Eurogrim can solo whatever. He can still solo those same things he could solo before. I don't know why people are so pissed off, but yeah, definitely he does the same thing. It's just a little bit slower, but the intent of soloing so you can have food up with him, whatever, it's still the same. For Geomancer, I do understand really the stick about him. It was not done well. And this whole like back and forth, they broke him and they nerfed him, and now they kind of buffed him ish back to where he was originally with a little bit of upside, a little bit of downside, you know. And what does this mean for the other epics? Specifically, I think people are concerned about Demetha. My lady Demetha. Where's she at? Here we go. They're concerned about this little dwarf right here, you know, and I think they're right to be concerned. Yeah, because it can happen. So they can take. The worst thing they can do is increase the cooldown on this A3. I think that might be the worst possible thing they can do. Increase the cooldown there. The thing they can do that may or may not make a difference is take some of this healing away from this, or take the debuff duration decrease away from this. Okay, that might not be bad at all. Honestly, that part right there might not be bad at all. So we'll see what happens if they touch Demetha. You know, in my opinion, you still go for her. So imagine the people that pulled Geomancer on day 1 of release and built him up exactly the way all the content creators said you should, and you used him, and you got all these Ultra Nightmare Clan boss chests because of him, right? And let's say the nerf yesterday stuck. So let's say that was the nerf yesterday, it stuck. I mean, he's kind of fixed now. I mean, ish. For most people, he's fixed, I think. So what happens now, right? You should think of it as you got all those free Ultra Nightmare Clan boss chests leading up to the point where they fixed Geomancer, right? The same thought process for Demetha. The exact same thought process for Demetha. And I actually mentioned this during the Brogni fusion in one of my videos. I said there is kind of like a upside to Brogni, upside that they didn't mention, which was the shield deflect reflecting proc Giant Slayer. You know, it's up still now. They haven't fixed it yet. It hasn't been fixed. So get Demetha, use the crap out of her. If they fix her, they fix her, whatever. You already got her. You already got use out of her. You know what I'm saying? You got use out of her, you played the event, you got all the rewards. I think it's a win-win, right? Whatever they do with this champ later on down the line, she deserves the attention she's getting, because she could really be good for a lot of people, especially people that have the champs in place. Right now there is a Seeker and Deacon Armstrong build based on Demetha, you know. So that's it, guys. I'll see you all next time. Good luck on this fusion, right?